I know, I need to get like a title card or something. Oh, we've done a number of books already today. And I'm going to keep going. Let me take off my jacket. I'm going to keep going with some more. I ended the last stream. I talked a little bit about the previews. I just went ahead and did that. I didn't think anyone was all that interested in Marvel previews books, but then I brought in another box of comics that I need to still database and just kind of flip through those, and I'm like, oh man, I want to look at some of these. So we're going to go ahead and get started and continue on with what we're doing. All right. Let's see. All right, Marvel Secret Wars. All right, we got Secret Wars. Right, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 with that awesome cover. That's still one of the best. Number 5, number 6, number 7, of course. Number 8, of course, the Black SpiderMan cover. Number 9, I got a number 10 Newsstand edition. This is the Dr. Doom issue. Number 11, this is the Doom when he takes off his mask issue. And number 12. Alright, so all normal. The only thing that I have to look at is that I have this Newsstand of number 10. So let's get going and let's see how their database is. Marvel Super Heroes Secret Wars. Okay. Number 1 and number 1 second printing. There was a second printing? Or is this one of those situations where someone called the direct edition a second printing because they don't know what they're talking about? Let's take a quick look here. Mine is a direct edition. It is a first print. I'm curious though. Let's take a look and figure out if this guy, is there a second printing of this book? I mean, I honestly don't think there is. I might be wrong. There's my life dashboard here. I'm just going to stop that. All right, let's take a quick look. Let's go. Marvel Super Heroes Secret Wars number 1. Let's check on Mile High, because if anyone has a second print, probably Mile High does. Secret Wars 1984. There is a number 1 second print. Huh. Interesting. The second print is actually rarer than the first print. Here's the trip, though. Check this out. Okay. This, even though it says second print, this is an image of the first print direct edition. The second print actually has a SpiderMan with the blackface. That's interesting. Shooter signed, Spanish edition. Oh, that'd be cool. Interesting though, the second print, yeah, is actually worth quite a bit more than the first print. It sounds like the second print is a harder one to find. So, while this says it's a second print, that image is not. So I still need to add a 1A new direct edition and fix this entry. It's either that or I have to fix the second print entry. I'm going to go ahead and fix this, or attempt to fix the Newsstand one. So let's add this. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's duplicate it. First of all, This one is the Newsstand. Why don't people do this right? Okay. Then we're going to submit that additional. Oh, I've got my kitty here. Hi, Susie cat. She has come needing attention. All right, now we're going to take this one and delete it. Then we are going to fix the cover. Find online. There it is right there. We'll use it. Okay. And then we will submit it. We call it direct edition. Submit. Okay. All right. Kitty. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #1, first print, direct edition. You can still get for a pretty reasonable price if you're interested. I mean, to be fair, there's, you know, the Marvel Secret Wars series is very controversial in general. Oh, check this out. Now, here's something interesting. Okay. So seeing how that #1 first print had the black Spider-Man, #2 has a black Spider-Man on it. So I wonder if that's also a second print. I'll have to take a look at that too. Interesting. #2. #2. Nope, #2 has the black Spider-Man also. Interesting. So they actually had the black Spider-Man icon before they had the black Spider-Man suit out, which I find interesting. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, and #2 does not does have a second print. I'm unclear how you can tell the difference between them, other than look inside. So we are going to look inside. Let's see if we can confirm printing on this. Dang it, where'd that go? All right. It looks like a first print. Doesn't say it's a second print in there anywhere. So I have to believe this is a first, even with the black Spider-Man. I wonder if they changed right after. Interesting. Okay. So again, though, I have a direct edition. This is a Newsstand, so we have to fix it because people don't know how to do this. No. Why I'm not submitting? I haven't made any changes yet. Newsstand edition. Okay. Duplicate. Submit that change. Submit. Perfect. And now we gotta delete that one. Now we gotta fix this one. See, sometimes I put direct edition in there, sometimes I don't. The thing is, you should, if the comic only has a Newsstand edition, then you shouldn't need to say it. If it only has a direct edition, or most commonly, the most common form is the direct edition, so you shouldn't have to say it. In cases like this, I like to, since their database is wrong and hopefully they have a better understanding of why I'm putting this in there. There it is right there. There it is right there. Oh, that's my comics photo. So I'm going to go here and I'm actually going to crop this one. There we go. Let's actually, oops. Use it. All right. Yep. Main direct edition. Okay. And then submit it. Submit. Okay. Number 2 is in. All right. Next. We have a number 3. There is. Again, I have a direct. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Number 3. Let's do that one. Newsstand edition. Okay. And here's what's funny. I actually take this. Oh wait, no. Okay. Newsstand edition. Submit that change. Submit it. Submit. Okay. Now, duplicate it. We're going to go with direct edition. Cover. Find online. Secret Wars number 3. I bet you I can. Which cover? This is a. Oh, this cover with Colossus right here. That's it. Not that one. No. There's one except for the black box. I don't want the black box. Did it not have a good version? In this one, but why won't it show me? It doesn't show me the image. Okay, so guess we'll have to scan this. Guess we'll have to scan this one. Okay. New scan. Scan it. Save as on my desktop. Marvel 3. Let's just put that there for now. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, I took the image away. Just making sure it did what it was supposed to there. Resize to like 20%. Select. Crop. Boom. Save. Drop in my images folder. Marvel 3. Covers. Browse. Marvel 3. Okay. Alright. And then submit the comic to core. Yeah, this works way easier with my scanner just right here. Nice and fast. Yeah, the Marvel Secret Wars is kind of interesting. It's completely absurd. It's a storyline that was purely, you know, a marketing thing. It's Jim Shooter's marketing baby, right? At least that's what it's known as. But honestly, as absurd as it is, it's actually a pretty good book. I like them. I enjoy reading them. There's a lot of interesting points in there. And I mean, just the connection to the cultural things, like the fact that, like the new suit and Doctor Doom and all that. Like, there's a lot of new stuff there that hadn't been done before. Okay, number 4, everything's good there. Number 5, let's check out 5. 5 looks good. 6 looks good. Makes it easy. 7 looks good. Number 8, I will add an 8. I already have an 8 in another box. Number 9 looks good. Number 10, I have the... So let's add that 10, and now let's edit it. Put all those away. Yes, add another 8. I know I already have an 8. Okay, number 10. Duplicate. Delete. At least it's easier just to add a newsstand edition. Newsstand edition. Okay. Already have the barcode in there. And let's get the image. See if I can find one. Let's see if we can get lucky online. Newsstand. This is this Doctor Doom cover. Yeah, I mean, as much shit as Secret Wars gets, and especially because Secret Wars 2 was so moronically stupid, as much shit as it gets, I like Secret Wars. I've read them multiple times. I enjoy reading them. I like a lot of the story that happens. I kind of like the idea of there just being this, like, big, powerful being that uses all the superheroes as his playthings. I think that's a great idea. But what I would like to see is some kind of storyline where they take all the powerful beings in the universe, like the Beyonder and Ego and Celestials and all this stuff. I'd like to see them take all of them and put them into some kind of Marvel, some kind of an arena and fight it out like they did for the superheroes. I think that would be a better, more interesting story. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Secret Wars. Again, I know it's pretty controversial. People love it or hate it. Damn it. There we go. Crop. Save. Images, Marvel 4, drop it in. Covers. Browse. I always like picking a simple name like that for these, because then it's really easy just to find them in this massive file full of tons of pictures. Submit. I love databases, but I've always been big on trying to make sure that their information is correct, because a database of information is only as correct as what we submit to it. So when I was a youngin', and I used to manage Pizza Hut restaurants for a franchise, and we had a map system. And because I knew the map and I knew the addresses better than anyone, I was employed to do the map updates and fix the database for a lot of stuff, which I did. Alright, there we go. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars is complete. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, check it out. an Uncanny X-Men and Teen Titans. It's not in perfect condition, but it's pretty decent condition. This is a Newsstand edition comic. It is technically called Marvel and DC. Okay, well, let's go. Uncanny X-Men and the new Teen Titans. 1A. There it is. To Walt Simonson. It's a good book. Okay. Have that. Yeah, and what was the other one? Was it Spider-Man and Superman, right? The other team-up crossover. Alright, what do we got next? Marvel team-up featuring Spider-Man and the Ghost Rider. Here we go. 60s comic. Maybe early 70s, probably. Marvel. 72. Yeah. Number 15. I used to buy anything Ghost Rider. I love Ghost Rider. I like the different incarnations of Ghost Rider. The only Ghost Rider that I don't care for is Nicolas Cage in the movies. Those movies are pretty unwatchable. The first one is semi-watchable. The second one I turned off. It's absolutely, I thought, to be absolute garbage, completely unwatchable. I know people probably disagree with me on that, but I think that it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Just flat out terrible. Spider-Man Unlimited volume. This looks like volume 1, number 19. Spider-Man Unlimited. That's it right there. Number 19 direct edition, number 20 direct edition, number 21, and number 22. 21 and 22. Add those. All good. Completes that run, or almost. I need that wizard half. I don't think I have that. Spider-Man Unlimited. This must be volume 2. Number 3? Nope. It must be volume 3. Kirkman worked on these? Really? Yep, that's it. Number 3 and 4 right there. Yeah, Robert Kirkman wrote these? Huh. Didn't realize that. Although, Corey Walker? That's not who did that cover, but oh well. Alright. Add those two. Here we go. Here's some Spider-Man verses. Are we ready? Let's see who Spider-Man goes up against today. Spider-Man versus Dracula. Yep, the Dracula. Spider-Man fights the Dracula. Thanks, Les Wine. There it is. Again, difference though, is I do have a Newsstand edition of this. I know we talked about, on a previous episode, duplicate, talked about easy ways to tell differences between Newsstand edition and direct edition comics. But I don't know if everyone, oh, this one has a different, hold on. 86027966601 cover. I probably have to scan. I probably will have to scan this one. Well, there's one. It's not a good picture though. Yeah. Okay, I'll scan this one. But I don't know, is everyone aware of what the difference is actually between a direct edition and a newsstand edition comic. I would assume everyone should be. Anyone who would be watching the stream should know the answer to that. But just in case you don't, and why does this matter? So it's the difference is newsstand. So comics were originally distributed via the newsstand. Similar, the exact same as magazines, right? They were distributed through magazine channels to magazine sellers and buyers. Part of the magazine distribution model is that the newsstands would take whatever the magazine companies gave them, because anything that didn't, because they only paid for what sold. Anything that didn't sell, they would give back and destroy. And have destroyed. The direct edition was created where retailers would get a bigger discount. So like a comic book shop, say, we're not going to use the newsstand model. You don't have to take back what no one buys. Instead, we'll buy some. We'll take the hit for whatever we buy that doesn't sell, and the trade-off is we get a better discount. And that's what's the direct edition. So it goes directly to retailers. Now, why does this matter in comics? It mostly doesn't. Most people, the vast majority of people, don't necessarily care about the difference. If they want a copy of a SpiderMan comic, they don't care if there's a little picture of SpiderMan in the corner necessarily, or if there's a random UPC. At least most of them don't. Value-wise, they can have, especially key issues, can have significant price differences. Because as the direct edition model took off through the late 70s and into the 80s, and especially into the 90s, newsstands, it became harder and harder to find newsstand comics. So some of these issues, especially once you start getting into the early 90s and into later, or even more modern, like in the last 10 years, if there's a key issue, that newsstand version is a million times harder to find. So example, let's say you want the first appearance of, or the issue where Captain America died or something, right? Or what else was in the 90s? What else happened in the 90s? Oh yeah, almost nothing, because Marvel sucked in the 90s. Let's use an example of the Spider-Man #1, the Todd McFarlane one. Yes, it was mass printed. Yes, that one's not as hard to find, but the newsstand ones are a lot harder to find than the standard direct edition ones. So they usually go for a little more, even though they're the exact same comic. And people like to collect all the different versions of that cover because there was a bunch of them. So people take quite a bit of effort to find the different versions. All right, here's a good one: Spider-Man versus Wolverine, right? Direct edition from 86, from mid-80s. It's a double-sized book. It's a good-sized book. I don't know if I don't think this is worth anything. Actually, I honestly don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this comic, actually. Let's take a quick look. Let's bust out the big book and see what Mr. Overstreet says. I got the big book here. You can use online. Online might give you some very different prices than what the big book gives you. I like to look in here though, because usually there's better information in here. Spider-Man versus Wolverine. Huh. Anywhere between basically $5 to $40, depending on grade. My copy there was actually a pretty good copy, it looked like, assuming the inside was good. I'd imagine that's like a $30 book. Huh. I didn't remember that at all. What about that Dracula? Oh yeah, it's anywhere shit. Alright, let's put that up. The big book. I keep that handy. Alright. Peter Parker, Spider-Man 97. What the hell is this? Spider-Man 97. I don't know what this book is. Spider-Man 97. I'm going to barcode this one. 59606031 849. Peter. It's this annual. Okay. Those the mid 90s, mid to late 90s, man. I still picked up some books, but man, I didn't like them. I didn't read them. They're not enjoyable. That's got to be one of the worst eras for Marvel. They were, racked full of the lawsuits and bankruptcy and all that crap. Spider-Man Secret Wars. Oops, I should be able to type. Spider-Man. Nope. Why is this not coming up? Spider-Man Secret Wars. Is it called like Secret Wars Spider-Man or something? That's 2016. No, that can't be it. Huh. Okay, I guess we'll barcode this one. Find the series. 75960606684 Spider-Man and the Secret Wars, #1. So let's add that. And then we'll, oops, go back and then click there, and then go back there, and then we pull up the rest of this. I got number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I already had number 4 in the collection somewhere. I thought I had that whole series. Right. Spider-Man Web of Doom. Web of Doom #1, direct edition. There it is. My first look at this cover, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, look at this cover. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Look at this Spider-Man. He is chonked out, man. He's ripped. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man was never that ripped. I mean, even when like Todd McFarlane was drawing him, shit. This is straight up like a Liefeld Spider-Man. I mean, it's not, of course. It's a Kolinsky, it looks like, or a Collins? I don't know what this guy's name was. Scott Collins. But Jesus, look at that Spider-Man. He's buff as shit. Alright. Spider-Man with great power. Marvel Knights. Alright. Number 1. 2. I think I have all 5. 3, 4, and 5 all direct edition. Yep, Marvel Knights. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all good. This these are counted books. I don't know if I want to count these as books. So I have a stack of stuff that's all like promotional material that aren't comic books, but all comic book related stuff. And I'm debating, well, let's see, does this have any kind of publication I can use? This is the book. This came in a bagged issue of, I think it was a Spectacular Spider-Man issue. It might have been a web of, I don't remember, but one of the issues was bagged, and it had this little promo book in it, and it's about the creation of the cartoon. And it's actually, I mean, it's a cool little book, and it's got a lot of kind of little fun things going on. You know, stories of Spider-Man. It's just, I mean, it's newsprint. It's nothing fancy at all. But I don't see a... It's like a promo for this Marvel Age number 137. I wonder if someone put it in there under Marvel Age. I'm kind of curious. Let's take a look. Nope. Okay. Work in progress. That's what it's called. So work in... Nope. There's nothing under work in progress. So these might just... I mean, they're not really comic books. I guess they're promo material. I guess that's what I'll put them under. I have a couple of them. I have the sealed comics that have them in it. I have the cells. Check this out. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen this. They're down here with all my promo material. But some of those came sealed with these, like, quote-unquote Spider-Man cells. So I have those. Those were from that same era where they were making the cartoon. I have some of them still sealed with the book, but then I have some of them by themselves there. I think I have another one, but I'm not finding it at the moment. All right, whatever. Some good posters. Yeah, a lot of promo stuff. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So I'll just count those as promo. Here's a Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man and Wolverine. I guess they're not versus each other anymore. They're friends at this point. Marvel Tales. 243. $19.90. There it is. Okay, again. Oh, okay. See why this shit pisses me off. Newsstand edition. Oops, someone's calling me. I'm not answering it. I don't answer that phone. I have that landline strictly for my son to use, so he can call his friends. I don't ever use that landline. No one has that number except for my son's friend, so... Alright. Duplicate. Why? Because I have the direct edition. Cover. Find one. Nope. Come on. Marvel Tales, SpiderMan, Wolverine. It's a totally badass cover, but apparently no one's got a picture of the direct edition one. Guess I gotta do it. Gotta do everything around here. Nope. What do you mean? It was just working. went to sleep or something, looks like. There it goes. Okay. Taco Bell for lunch. Save as Marvel 6. Come on, minimize. Yeah, I was originally trying to do these with photos from my phone, and it was way too many steps and way too much effort. I'm so glad I did this. Select. Crop. Save. Marvel 6, drop it in. Covers. Clear. Browse. Marvel 6.jpg. Open. And then submit. I love these old school badass Dungeons and Dragons ads on the back. TSR! Have a monster of a good time! With our Dungeon TM game. Alright. Let's continue. I'm going to skip those for now. Just because I don't want to do them right now. What else do I got? Oh yeah, I promised some Marvel zombies and stuff. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, Marvel Spotlight, Marvel Knights 10th Anniversary Special. And Marvel Spotlight, Secret Invasion Aftermath. Direct Edition. And look back with Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I want to read. Marvel Spotlight. Marvel Knights, it doesn't have. How about Secret Invasion? No? Okay, let's barcode these and see how they have them listed. With Joe Quesada! 7596060584587. Marvel Spotlight Volume 3, okay. Oh, the Incentive Monkey variant cover! Jesus fucking Christ, Marvel, seriously? Oh, the monkey variant cover! No, I don't want the monkey variant cover. I mean, that's not to say I don't have some monkey variant covers. Please don't make fun of me too bad. That was when they were doing the Marvel Apes month. There we go, there's the next one. Alright. Jesus, I don't want it. Oh man, okay, Marvel Zombies. Okay. Aww. This breaks my heart. This book, I still have the cards of where I bought it from and the price. And it was the old Comic in Merced, which was my comic shop I grew up going to. And this was probably one of the last things I ever bought there. It closed. I had moved away, and it had closed during that time, but I would visit every time I went back, and I'd buy a couple things. So there's a good chance that these are some of the last things I ever bought there. Marvel Zombies, volume 1. We have, trade paperback. Okay, first printing, or second print. This was a second print? This cover? Really? That's the second print cover? That's interesting. Let's take it out and check it out. Direct edition. Marvel Zombies #1. This doesn't say it's a second print. It just says it's a variant. Is that right? I don't think this was a second print. Let me see if I can get confirmation on that. I thought it was just a variant. Marvel Zombies. Oh, there was a third print and a fourth print even. So maybe it was. Let's see. This print, no. This one was the fourth print. Maybe this is the third, this is the second. Maybe that's how that worked. Marvel Zombies 1. Images, let's take a look. Doesn't say it's a second print. Marvel Zombies 1. And all. Trying to get confirmation on the different covers here. Next. And where are the different covers though? Because this doesn't say it's a second print inside. That's why I'm questioning if that's the case. I guess it is. I mean, there's another thing confirming a second print. Third print, fourth print. Huh. Guess it is. Interesting. So I was trying to see, does it say second print inside somewhere? If it doesn't, I'm calling bullshit on that. Alright, whatever. Guess it's a second print. Let's go with it. Well, I paid $10 for it at the time from a Coppa comic. Again, mostly because I was a Spider-Man fan. I was a Marvel Zombie fan. And I liked buying anything from Coppa comic. But I mean, Coppa comic closed in, what, like 2012? Somewhere around there. I probably bought this in like 2010, 2011. Like I said, it was probably one of the last things that I bought from there. So, a little saddening for me. All right. We also have a #3 variant edition, 3B. There it is. And a #5. 5A. Add those three. Adam. Those two, I know I got a Coppa comic. So let's edit them. I like to put where I got them from if I know for a fact where I got them. Not location, store. Coppa comic. Okay. And then this one I paid 10 for. And then the other one I paid 7 for. Okay. I don't know if they're worth that now. But that's what I paid at the time, and I was probably more than happy to. They're great covers. Marvel Zombies, that's one of the highlights that they always had, was really just strong art, strong covers in those books. All right. Marvel Zombies 2. Let's grab them. Let's see. Oh, I even have some Marvel Zombies 3. Oh yeah, I stopped buying it. There's a Marvel Zombies 4. I think it was 3 didn't have all the cool covers anymore. They were just garbage. So I don't recommend them. But Marvel Zombies 2 still had these just awesome covers. Really strong artwork. Number 1, I have 2 copies of, so let's add that. 2 copies. Number 2. Number 3. Love that number 3 cover. Like, I love that number 3 cover. I don't know if it can get more, if I can fall more in love with a cover. Like, especially a parody or tribute cover than this Marvel Zombies 2 Iron Man. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is gorgeous. He dies, he walks, he devours. Like, it's absolutely amazing. Alright. Alright, Marvel Zombies 2. Marvel Zombies Dead Days or something. Yeah, this one. One shot. Not a trade paperback, not a hard... Why would they make a hardcover and a trade paperback of a one-shot comic? It makes me question if people even put them in the right, because I don't know if they would. Okay, Marvel Zombies 3, this is where the art turned to shit. These covers were not... They were ugly. They were done by like a whole different team, too. There's number 1. I've got number 2. I have 2 copies of, but I will do that separately. And then a number 3. I don't have a number 4. No, I guess I don't have a number 4. Alright. And then number 2 I had 2 copies of, so let's edit that. Just double check. Okay, Marvel Zombies 4. See, it got to where they were just... They weren't doing this for something fun anymore. They were just doing stupid shit. Look at this fucking cover. Look at this thing. This is hideous. It's not fun. And what is even going on here? How did you go from how badass Marvel Zombies 1s and 2s were to this garbage cover? Absolute shit. Like, it's not even funny. Number 1. I'm sorry, Greg Land. I'm sorry, I don't like your covers. That's sorry. They are disappointing, especially following up after those other covers. So, Marvel Zombies Return. Number 1. See, went back to the Arthur Sadum cover. See, that's what I want. Number 2. Oh my god, that's a badass Sadum cover. Look at this. Look at this. Iron Man is like flying on a frickin' eagle. Look at this. Oh, he thinks he's like Gandalf in The Hobbit. Alright, number 3. Number 3, you have Wolverine with his eye hanging out. Look at this shit. This is sick, dude. Look at this. Number 3. And number 4, you got a cool Hulk going on. And then number 5, another Hulk Spider-Man. You got Spider-Man munching on the Hulk. It's pretty good. I like it. And also, these no longer had Robert Kirkman, right? All right. We're going to get through a little bit more, and then I'm probably going to call it. I might keep going and doing work, but I think I'm going to call it straight. All right. There's that amalgam I was talking about, a Magneto and the Magnetic Men. I was talking about on one of the previous episodes. I grew up saying Magneto. Everyone said Magneto when we were kids until the cartoon came out. And the cartoon was the first time that there was, you know, Magneto on screen, and everyone said Magneto, and it was like, oh, wow. Okay. Marvel's Greatest Collections. Number 1. No, this is with, I don't know what year this is. Let's try this one. That one right there. And then there's, what is this one? Yeah, that one too. I have that one also, but they just don't look the same. Interesting. Okay. Yep, Adam. I have 2 copies of that Wolverine one. Alright, now we're going to get into some good shit. This is a Marvel's number 1. This is quite possibly the best Marvel comic of the 90s. This comic changed everything when it came out. It's a little beat up, but it's hard to keep it in perfect condition considering the kind of cover, this plastic poly cover that it had. This comic changed everything when it came out. It was the only thing coming, the only good news coming out of Marvel after the launch of Image. But yeah, these kind of had these see-through covers. This is the series that made Alex Ross a name, right? Absolutely beautifully painted, beautifully written book. If you don't know it, the story, it's a 4-issue series, and the story is about a photographer who grew up, he was a journalist, and he worked all around the, you know, from the late 30s to the modern day, and he took pictures of the superheroes. So he's like reporting and trying to take pictures as the world's changing because the world suddenly has superheroes. Beautiful book. One of my favorites. I have the hardcover on my shelf right back over here. And then they did like a kind of a sequel series called Marvel's Eye of the Camera. And then there was another series that kind of was in the same vein, a little bit different, called Marvel 1985 that I absolutely love. And I could not recommend more. There was a reprint in 96. Oh, yes, there was. It didn't have the foil cover. I have number 1. I have number 2. I think that's it here right now. Number 1 and 2, first prints. Those are some of my favorite books ever made. In fact, let me look on Mile High for the other 2. See how much they're charging for them, if they even have them. I'm sure I can eBay it. I know. But I don't want to eBay it. Part of the fun is the search. Oh, there's a 0 too. I don't have a 0. Number one Newsstand. Ooh, that's what I want. Number 2, there's a 2-second print. I should order it. Yeah, this number 3. I mean, look at number 3 and number 4. These are just amazing. Look at these covers. Look at that. That is sick. Oh, okay. Anyway, those are, look at that. Yeah, I can get these. Yeah, I can get those. Those aren't badly priced at all. I need to get me those. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it now. All right. Why is it showing me that? No details. Okay. What is this? What is this even showing me? Comics by series. What I have the most of. Amazing Spider-Man Volumes 1 and 2. Web of Spider-Man. Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. Spectacular Spider-Man. Like, that's funny. What is this? What if we go this comic by series? Oh, that I have the least of. Ooh, grayscale. Cool. How about a pie chart? Other. Bar graph. What is this lock? I don't know if I want to save it. Interesting. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Because that gives me so much information. Alright. Let's finish up here. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Marvel's Eye of the Camera. Let's see. Number 1A. This is written by the same guy who did the first series, Kurt Busiek? I don't know how to pronounce it, but written by him. Different artist. Still an interesting series. I recommend it. So let's see, number 3. Number 4. Number 4, variant black and white. Number 5, regular. 2 copies of that. I'll have to add that separate. And then number 6, regular. Once I get caught up, it's going to make me sad. Once I get caught up on all these, then I won't be streaming this. And I'll only be streaming like new stuff that I get in comics halls. It'll make me happy that I'm caught up, but it will make me sad that I won't just sit here and a couple more. Spider-Man 1602. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like the idea of the series. I think that it's shit. I think that it was not well executed. The art isn't not interesting. The storyline is not all that good. I much prefer, the one I like is Spider-Man Noir. That one was really badass. Here's check this out. There's Spider-Man 2099, first print. Let me tell you about this comic. I know a lot of people know about this comic. That's, you know about the comic. But for me, I bought this comic off when it was brand new. I mean, and it is beat to shit because I love the shit out of it. And that's how I know this is the one I bought, because it is all beat up from me reading it. I love Spider-Man 2099. I thought it was a good series. Of all the 2099 series, Spider-Man was the best one. And they never quite did him right again after that, which is a little shame. I did see the Into the Spider-Verse, and I did like the post-credit scene with Spider-Man 2099. That pleased me. I was upset as we were watching the movie, and I'm like, where's the Where's, of all the different Spider-Mans, where's 2099? He's the best one. Number 6. Number 10. Number 14. And number 19. Adam. Check this. Okay. All right. Spider Woman. This has to be. This is Brian Michael Bendis series for $3.99. This has to be what, volume 4? That looks right. Yep, right. Excuse me. Right there, this painted cover. Brian Michael Bendis. And then this one, and this is where we're going to end it for today. This is Marvel Comics and the Electric Company present Spidey Super Stories. If you remember, Spider-Man had the little cartoon on the Electric Company. Spidey Super Stories. Number 44. Spidey and the Vision meet Dr. Time. I love it. It's a Newsstand edition comic. These comics were specifically made, one, because the Electric Company had the little Spider-Man cartoons on them, but also it was like part of the whole, you know, make it easy to read for children, so that they, you know, it was an early version of like kids' comics version of Spider-Man. Fortunately, mine's a little beat up. Not all in that great condition, but alright, I think that's going to end it for right now. I'm going to hop on off. Make sure again to follow me on the Twitters and the Facebooks and everything else. You can check me out, Golden State Comics on Twitter, or at GoldenBoyPhoto1. I do a lot of posting about bitching about articles, and a number of other things, but pretty much almost all comic related. So if you want to do any trade or dealings, again, you can view my collection here. 4835, well, it hasn't finished its upload right now, but you can view my collection online on cloud.collectorz.com. Always interested in buy, sells, trades, so let me know. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and I'll see you guys next time.